YouTube vinyl community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about the Beach Boys' 20 Golden Greats, one of the best-selling albums they ever had in the UK. This thing was a monster smash hit for these guys. It spent 86 weeks on the UK albums charts, holy moly, and it peaked at number 1 in July of 1976, where it stayed in that spot for 10 weeks. This was a massive seller for the guys. 20 songs on one disc. How can you go wrong? This album went to number 40 in Sweden, number 26 in Australia, and number 5 in New Zealand. Released in the UK through EMI's brand new TV division, this was one of the first, if not the first, release through that EMI TV division, and it's got the code of EMI TV1 on the very back there. 20 Golden Greats came to be because so much was happening for the Beach Boys at this point. Across the world, particularly in America, Endless Summer and Spirit of America were massive, massive sellers. And I think England just wanted to have their own version of it. So they came up with this cover of a dude surfing, because, you know, surf music, and put some of their best songs on it. The cool thing about it is it's got a lot of stuff that was big over in England and Europe. So it's got I Can Hear Music, Do It Again, Darling, Breakaway. Then I Kissed Her, which was a massive hit for them in 1967. They didn't want it to be a single in 1967 in England, but that's just how it happened to be. Anyways, this is a fantastic record, and it's one of the it's a record for me. It's very near and dear to my heart. This particular copy is not the original copy that I grew up with. My parents had a copy of this thing growing up that was an import, and I was always fascinated by the cover. For some reason, there's something about the font, something about the surfer dude, and the cool thing for me on the back was seeing some songs that I didn't know, like Breakaway and I Can Hear Music. For me, those were new songs, because I didn't have them on any tapes that I had. And seeing, like, you know, the years next to the titles was very cool, although there are typos on here. On the back it says Fun, 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 and I Get Around It from 1962. We know that's wrong. It's also got When I Grew Up to Be a Man, which is 1965, and technically that's true because it was on Today, but it was also a single in 1964. It's got Good Vibrations is 67. That's true because it came out with Smiley Smile, but it was a single in 66. And then I believe everything else is okay. Heroes and Villains, Darling, Do It Again. They put 1969, which is true for 2020, but it came out as a single in 68. So I see where they're going there. Only the biggest hiccups are I Get Around and Fun, Fun, Fun. EMI did a lot to promote this thing with heavy advertisements on TV and a lot of displays at stores. There's a really cool promo 45 that was sent out to radio stations called All You Need to Know about the Beach Boys' 20 Golden Greats. And it's a few tracks, there's, you know, two sides. Side A, the whole thing's available here on YouTube, which is fantastic. And side B, which is an interview with Carl Wilson, is not available on YouTube, but I really want to get my hands on one someday. Side A has an intro, and then it's got the TV commercial soundtrack. So there were a couple different commercials for this thing that came out. One featured Wouldn't It Be Nice, which is some surfing scenes, and the longer version starts off with Do It Again, and then goes through a really bizarre commercial where it shows traffic guards and penguins and a guy jumping on the moon. I don't know why, but they did that and set it to Beach Boys music, and so you get that background track of just the songs themselves, which is pretty cool. And you know, description of the marketing campaign, which is really cool, where, you know, the record sold for $2.99, I guess £2.99 is that how they say it, or $2.99. I'm not sure how you say it in England, so forgive my naivety for that. But the cassette was also $3.25, so I'm not sure if that's like £3.25 something, but that's what it was. And then track 3 was Good Vibrations, and they were promoting Good Vibrations as a single at this time too, apparently, which is super cool. Now on this album, you got the single version of Help Me Rhonda and the album version of Barbara Ann. But when it was reissued on CD in 1987, you got the album version of Help Me Rhonda and the single version of Barbara Ann. Here's the back cover. And the inside. This happens to be a Canadian version of the album, which does have the correct original LP tracks. And as promised, this is sort of a two-parter episode, The Beach Boys 20 Golden Greats Volume 2. Now here's one you don't see too often. I know this came out in Sweden. As far as I know, it may have been the only country it came out in. I'm sure it was available as an import to a lot of other countries, but from what I could find in my research, which isn't much, it was definitely available in Sweden. It came out also in 1976. I'm guessing towards the end of the year, 20 Golden Greats came out in June or July of 1976. It was, I'm pretty sure, June. So this had to have been like maybe September, October, November, somewhere in there. I know they were trying to capitalize on the momentum of that thing coming out, but this thing is absolutely fantastic and a really, really good follow-up. So if you have both of these albums, you get 40 greatest hits. It's insane that they have that many greatest hits. And this one's really cool too, because you get some deeper cuts on here. You get 10 Little Indians, Hawaii, Wendy, Little Honda. Then you get stuff like The Little Girl I Once Knew, again, which was a stray single, so it's nice to have that, give it a home. Salt Lake City, Wild Honey, Friends, Bluebirds Over the Mountain, and it ends with Cotton Fields. And it was also available on cassette, because I got that little logo up there for a little cassette, so you can see the matrix number for the cassette. But let me show you what the record looks like for this one. It's on the really nice late 70s purple Capitol label. And sadly, there's just not much to know about this thing. Is that it came out, it exists, and that's about it. So there you go. 20 Golden Greats Volume 1, which is the one we all know, and 20 Golden Greats Volume 2, which is slightly more obscure, a little bit more rare, this one. Let me know if you have this one. I haven't met anybody that has this yet. As far as I know, I could be wrong about that, but really, really cool to have both of these. It blows my mind that if you have both of these albums, you've got 40 songs, and they're all insanely good tracks. It's amazing how much good music these guys made in the span of 10 years. It's less than that. I mean, this covers 1962 to 1969, 7 years, and you get 40 greatest hits. Not a lot of bands can do that. Anyways, for more detailed pictures of this thing, you can check out my Instagram page, which is just Giggens with an underscore, and you can see a lot more detailed pictures of these, of the track listing and everything else, so they're easier to look at. But man, I love these releases. They're so cool. This one takes me back to being a kid, and this one's just so cool because it just, who knew it existed? Anyways, let me know what your memories are with these albums. Let me know if you have the second one. I'm really curious to talk about this thing in the comments below. Let's get a good discussion going so we can make a a historical document on the internet for people to reference. That's why I do this channel. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been the Beach Boys 20 Golden Greats Volume 1 and Volume 2. Take care of yourselves. Surfs up.